Hello everyone, this is the Voyager 1 here, and I have to talk about the Odyssey, and then go back a little bit with regarding Supergirl and all these bad movies. Apparently, these movies are important, not on the quality of them being good movies, but on the part of them being, just existing because they want to stick it to us YouTubers. Yes, you know, we have bad opinions over here, apparently. And although some of us do our best to talk about financials and what makes a good movie, what doesn't make a good movie, the painstaking journey it is to make a film, that sort of thing, we're all just wrong. We're losing the plot. The fact that something like The Odyssey got made is something to be celebrated rather than criticized, regardless of the quality of the movie, right? Whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, whatever. We should just enjoy it. I I wholeheartedly disagree with this mentality. You know why? Because throughout the years of at least 10 years, or maybe going on for 12 years at the moment, I have seen Hollywood take a shift towards divisive politics nonsense. And in this regard, they've simply made things far worse than they actually should have been. If they had focused on story and hiring better directors and writers who can actually write and direct the bloody thing properly, then we would have a different story, right? If they didn't care about politics, if they didn't care about, because it's all about taking one audience who's way over here and move them over here. But if you do that, you have no room for the current audience. So we need to move them away, and they're toxic enough as it is. Push them away and then bring this audience over here. Here's the issue with that, right? Let's talk about Supergirl for a second. Talk about Supergirl. What happened with Supergirl? Well, it turned out to be the biggest bomb of the year. I'm just gonna say of the year, okay? Nothing else is gonna top this. Nothing else. Forget about it. It's impossible for something to top it, right? That movie is currently doing under $1 million a day. That bad. But anyway, let's just say Supergirl is a heroine movie, right? A heroine superhero movie. What is the audience for that in general? It's male. So it didn't surprise me when I looked into the analytics of this thing, which is always public. 57% male audience, and then the rest was female audiences. I can only surmise that it was men who brought their, let's say, wives or their siblings or their friends with them to see Supergirl because they wanted to see Supergirl. Here's the problem. The movie wasn't good. It was unwatchable. It was, in fact, made to be bad, and it was going to be bad on purpose. If this sounds familiar, it probably does. Because I said this in a previous video. I called it out and said that most people, Moist Critical Drinker, Jeremy Johns, they're all going to say that the movie is bad. It's a harmonious synthesis of this one movie. It's unlike any other movie that has come out this year. People argue about the Mario Galaxy movie that came out, saying it was good or bad or whichever. Have your way with that, okay? I'm completely fine. But everyone synonymously agree that that Supergirl is a bad movie. Bad. There's no defending it whatsoever. Now, with that out of the way, The Odyssey, okay? This is a movie that's meant to complement Hollywood. Actually, it's made by Hollywood, only existing to complement Hollywood. That is why they didn't hire any Greeks in the movie. That is why they didn't set the premieres or host the premieres and any Greeks anywhere near Greece. This is why a Greek historical person who's an expert on Greek history, she said it herself. She said that this is not honoring the Greek culture. This is disrespectful. This is highly diabolical of Hollywood, right? The Odyssey is you just took the name and then you changed it to something else. Here's the issue with that. It's not our mythos, it's theirs. So you committed theft, literature theft. You took something that wasn't yours and you simply corrupted it, right? You did your own casting with people who have too many movies that are coming out. Like Zendaya, she has 2 movies in 1 month. How does that work out? Tom Holland is in the movie, and then we've seen these other guys from Oppenheimer. Some of them have been there long enough since the Dark Knight trilogy. So, and I want to say this one last thing. I do not 100% blame Christopher Nolan for this abomination. He's not a writer, right? He didn't fund the bloody thing. He wanted to do it. He shot on location, okay? I would still say that whatever he does, you're going to get that perfect filmmaking guidebook, essentially, because he's the man for it. He is, right? If you look at this movie and you just want to study it for what it showcases in terms of filmmaking, you have it. You have it. But with all these other things, inaccuracy with the armor, inaccuracy with the casting, that sort of thing, just highly disrespectful, highly. And Hollywood doesn't care. They don't care. They hate you anyway. They hate me. They hate Critical Drinker when he's doing his own movies based off his own books, and they still coping over it. They hate it. They hate it when we do our own things. But you know what? You know what? They don't control what we can do. So if you guys want a brigade around bad movies, just to stick it to these toxic YouTubers, well, go ahead. Go ahead. Nobody saw Supergirl. Nobody. Barely made $100 million globally, by the way, international, in 2 weeks. That's an epic bomb right there. One for the ages, right? So, hey, I ain't gonna stop you from being foolish. I ain't gonna stop you. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I'll see you later.